Go ahead.
Good afternoon to all our viewers, and it's an opportunity for us to join you where we can share with you some of our plans that we have for Amerindian Heritage Month 2020. Before we go further into the program this afternoon, I would like to first introduce you to our panel. To my right is our newly appointed Minister of Amerindian Affairs, the Honorable Pauline Supai. Minister, thank you for joining us.
Good
And
afternoon.
our Principal Regional Development Officer, Ms. Anne Roberts, who is also our Heritage Coordinator. This afternoon, we have a packed program for you where we will tell you about some of our plans we have for Heritage 2020. Of course, we know we're faced as a country with a health situation. Nevertheless, uh, we were able to put together a program, and of course, we will be sharing that information with you. At this time, I would like to hand you over to the Honorable Ms. Pauline Sukai, where she will give you details of some of our plans for next month.
Thank you very much, Anita, and my team here this afternoon to introduce to you the menu of items and activities which the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs will conduct in observance of Heritage Month 2020. We have taken into consideration the advent of COVID 19, and we are going to ensure that our menu of items will not put at risk our nation, neither put at risk participants and supporters that are expecting us to entertain them and to observe in recognition the heritage of Guyana's first people. With that in mind, we have developed a theme which this year um, is as follows: fostering traditional practices for a safe environment. This theme is significant because our traditional practices is one pathway which the indigenous people continues to secure it to achieve desirable outcomes for social and economic balance in our way of life through appropriate use of our natural resources, safe environment. Amerindian peoples continue to safeguard the natural environment, which has contributed to robust climate change practices. The forest, waterways, and ecosystems continue to provide significant support to the ways of life of Guyana's Amerindians. Customs and traditional practices are manifested in the talent and the cultural heritage displayed by our people. It is on this path that we believe that the ministry, in collaboration with other stakeholders, will be able to observe, recognize, and pay tribute to our Amerindian population in the upcoming Heritage 2020. We will continue to ensure that with the virtual package or the menu of activities which will be displayed virtually will provide activities such as a ceremonial launch of Amerindian Heritage Month, and this will take the place of the direct interactive launch at the Amerindian village that we are accustomed to. We, this year, we will be doing presentation virtually. We expect to have presentation from His Excellency, including from the Honorable Minister, yours truly, and other leaders from the Amerindian population. We will, of course, include in the menu of activities cultural presentations. The cultural presentation, of course, again will be virtual, where various media homes and houses will provide support by ensuring recorded presentations by talented Amerindian cultural groups to be aired and to be shown so that their talent can be appreciated and their talent can be showcased. Amerindian art exhibition, again, this will take a virtual form, and we will be putting on display the arts and crafts and paintings, etc., by renowned Amerindian artists. We will also introduce this year online marketing for craft and other produce produced by various Amerindian groups and villages so that we will be able to meet some of the demands that we are accustomed to during the month of September. We will also have indigenous cuisine, which Guyanese can sample. It will be made available. We will encourage all who are interested in the indigenous cuisine to get on board with this event. And I think that the days and the time will be announced. We have some days and time which we have proposed, and we are hopeful that it will meet the expectation of those who partake. And we encourage all who have the time and who love our dishes and so on to come and enjoy the menu of food that will be provided. We will not forget the first Amerindian parliamentarian either, Stephen Campbell. That event will take place as is usual, but again, we will ensure that we provide the Guyanese people with a program or a documentary that will provide information about this very important and historical individual who have led the battle for the rights of Amerindian to own land. Educational lectures will also be done, and we expect that in the latter part of September, these lectures will be aired so that our nation will become a little bit more informed on some of the issues and ways of life, including historical information about Guyana's first people. Amerindian villages this year will not be left out. We are planning to ensure that the villages with robust and organized cultural groups, that they will be provided an opportunity to display cultural presentation that will be pre-recorded live so that we can all enjoy not only the shows of the past and of the recent years, but we will also be providing some live performances through the media. That will end the package which we expect will be interesting, exciting, and will fulfill our the people's expectation as it relates to recognizing, observing, and honoring Guyana's first people, the Amerindians. I wish to stop here now, and maybe we can have some questions if the media so wish for a little bit more details. Okay. I also have with me two of the staff from the ministry who are also integrally um, taking part in organizing some of the events, and they too are invited to provide further information with respect to the details, the time, and so on of some of the activities which I have just outlined here this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister. And of course, we would like to thank the persons who would have joined our live broadcast on MCM radio and the television, and of course, our following who've been following us all along on our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us. Uh, we would just like to take a few questions from the media. If there are any, kindly indicate which media house you are from, and you are free to ask your question.
Mr. Josiah from NCN News.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, my question is, are there specific dates for the menu of activities? And would you mind saying basically the cost to put together this virtual menu of events as opposed to last year's activities?
Let me start with the last one first. The cost, of course, it's vastly reduced. The media houses involved are subsidizing some of the media advertisement, including the productions and so on. My team definitely is working with a budget that is realistic, and we do not expect it to exceed $10 million. Oh, excuse me, for $50 million. The next question with respect to the schedule and the dates. The launch, of course, is a fixed date. That is the 1st September or September 1st. And the activity will be aired from 11 o'clock or 11 hours. The cultural presentation will take place every Wednesday during the month. Again, on Fridays and Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays at 11 hours, and on Fridays at 20 hours, and on Saturday, 16 hours. Forgive me if we have to go through, but I planned for the release of the schedule, so I did not want to take all the time to relate it, but maybe I will do so because our listeners and followers may not want to wait for the release. So the Amerindian Heritage Art Exhibition, which is a virtual activity too, will take place between the 7th of September to the 30th of September. And the Amerindian Art and Craft online advertisement and marketing will begin from September 1st to the 30th. And it will be displayed or put on the ministry Facebook page. So we can all look forward to ordering our produce from the Amerindian population that will be displayed for sale. The Amerindian Cuisine Day will be on Wednesdays, every Wednesday during the month at 11:30. We will advertise where the meals will be, or the sample of meals can be picked up, but we are considering the Amerindian village and the ministry office, well, at the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. With respect to the lectures, it will be on September the 10th, beginning at 10 hours for half an hour. It will be produced by, well, it will be aired by NCM, and the lectures will be a Zoom lecture, will be Zoom lectures, live TV presentations. The Amerindian villages that will participate on the live pre-recorded cultural events will be shown on the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th of September at 10 hours during those dates. So that will conclude our menu of virtual activities to mark and to celebrate Amerindian Heritage Month 2020 under the theme Fostering Traditional Practices for Safe Environment. And of course, we will invite every Guyanese to tune in, and to tune in not only in the mainstream media, but also on the ministry's Facebook page, so that they can enjoy with everyone who are going to be there, making merry through social media. I believe that it's going to be exciting. This is the first virtual package of activities, which is not forcibly, but which we had to establish because of COVID-19. We also expect that the village leaders across the hinterland will take but will ensure that observation or observing the month of heritage 2020 will take place not on a scaled down way, but in keeping in mind that we have to observe COVID-19 order, their guidelines, their protocols, so as to avoid any risk of increased transmission of this dreaded virus that is affecting not only Guyana, but many countries across the international sphere.
Thank you, Minister. Any other questions? Any media house would like to seek further details? This is your opportunity to ask your questions. Are there any other questions from anyone?
Kristen Jasai again from NCN News. What is the procedure for persons within the Amerindian communities to register to have who may be an entrepreneur, maybe producers, etc. What is the procedure for them to sign up for this online marketing for their crafts and produce? Is that those list of persons has already been set, or is the ministry open to inviting other persons who may wish to advertise their produce and craft, etc., using this platform? What is the procedure for that, if any?
Well, every year the ministry will have a list of producers from various regions of Guyana. For example, from Moruco, from Region 9, St. Converse, and so on. So we have a list of those persons that we can be able to make contact with, and they will send pictures of what they have. If it's a headdress, the cost of the headdress, a brief description, and we have the person responsible collect those information, and we post it on our page and also other medias as well, so that we have that one contact person make arrangements if there is a buyer, can be able to say I'm interested in a product, and the ministry can assist in some way in getting that item to that person. So this is a form of being able to sell our indigenous products online. It's a start, of course, and I'm sure that we are going to annex Amazon as quickly as possible so that we can have that sales for indigenous people.
Yes, Kristen.
So, just to be clear, so persons can come contact the ministry if they are not on the list and they want to have their produce sold. Just to be clear, and if you could just walk me through again the guidelines for those who are listening who may want to utilize that.
Yes, they can. We do have a list; those will be contacted. But if there are any others that want to have their craft sold, they can be able to make contact here with the ministry.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Minister's here, ready to answer your questions. Mr. Roberts is here, so if you have your questions, kindly ask them at this time. Well, it seems as we would have, yes, exhausted uh, our time here, and of course, all our calendar of activities and all the other planned programs that we have in celebration of Amerindian Heritage Month can be found on our Facebook page. Please feel free to visit our page, share whatever information you have from your village, wherever you are. Please feel free to join us. Minister, before we wrap things up here this afternoon, would you like to leave any final message to our viewing public?
Thank you, Alita. I will take this opportunity to invite and encourage the entire Guyana to ensure that they follow our Facebook page, encourage the children who, for social studies, are usually the ones who flock to the ministry to seek information with respect to indigenous heritage, products, and history, to also take the time to glue them to the media houses that are supporting this venture. I will also ask that the sample, it is not important. We are expecting that we will have a great number of people hoping to pass by to sample our indigenous meals that will be provided. Is it free of cost?
Free of cost.
Free of
Absolutely
cost,
free.
absolutely free of cost. And we have, I was hoping that my coordinating team will also put up a quiz program where people can answer some simple questions on heritage or Amerindian life, on culture, ways of life, and earn themselves a free meal. So it's going to be exciting. The music and the cultural presentation can match any other our diverse nation and their dances and songs, etc. So it's going to be exciting. I will also want to leave this message that we will encourage all Guyanese, including the indigenous population, to observe the COVID guidelines, mask up, safe distancing, wash your hands, and to ensure that we take care of ourselves and be safe. And let us have an enjoyable Heritage Month 2020 under the theme fostering traditional practices for a safe environment. Thank you. Thank you to all the media houses who tune in to assist us in getting the word out of for ensuring that we have a successful Heritage 2020 virtually. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Minister. And of course, I would like to also echo Minister's words of encouraging all of us Guyanese to stay safe, take the necessary precautions so that you and your families can be safe. I would like to thank you once again, Minister, for joining us, Mr. Roberts for joining us, and of course, please remember to follow us like all our activities on our Facebook page. And I'm Rita Grant Charles saying goodbye for now. See you in September.
Thank you.
Thank you.